Dr. Matthew will make a presentation now. Dr. Matthew, please.
Yes, good afternoon, all of you. I think I am audible enough.
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Okay. Actually, entrepreneurship is an interesting topic to speak about, and actually, entrepreneurship as a career is a challenging one, a tough one, and it has become more challenging and tougher during this pandemic period. But we should not get too much worried. Every problem is an opportunity, and every opportunity is a problem, and every opportunity is a problem also. Even during this crisis time, certain companies have made profits, especially Zoom Up, YouTube, social media. And regarding this entrepreneurship and startups, I just want to say a few points. There are a lot of misconceptions about entrepreneurship and startups. Entrepreneurship is a business activity intended for profits, whereas startup is a technology-oriented entrepreneurship. Say, for example, a small restaurant can be deemed as an entrepreneurship. At the same time, if the restaurant is using an innovative app or shall we say any innovative technology, it can be rated as a startup. Now, I just want to say a few things from the research point of view. As you all know, a lot of research is happening in engineering as well as in biotechnology area. Engineering research as well as the biotechnology research gives innovative products. Entrepreneurship is basically a management topic. The management research gives innovative practices, whereas the engineering research gives innovative products or biotechnology research. Basically, there should be a proper blend of management research as well as engineering research so that the startup community can work on that. Here they come with an open mind, they start with the ideation and they try their level best to go up to the prototype level. Once they got a platform, they can build upon the work done by others. So I think the research findings have to be made available to the startup community. Now let us come back to our domain, the fisheries sector. As you all know, fish seeds are available at subsidized rates from government fish farms and hatcheries. Even last week, I have purchased some fish seeds from government hatcheries. Actually, it is subsidized and heavily subsidized, but the fish farmers are scattered across the country. Again, the markets are in a different place. Basically, we need a platform that can integrate the government fish farms and hatcheries, the farmers who are scattered across the country, and fish market, so that every stakeholder gets benefited. Even the farmers get more profits. As you all know, one of the biggest billionaire in the world is Mark Zuckerberg. He is the founder of the company Facebook. Facebook at one point of time was a startup in Harvard. Actually, he made a platform that enables people to meet together. Actually, we need a platform that is obviously technology enabled one to for integrating the activities of government fish farms and hatcheries, farmers who are scattered across the country, and fish markets, so that every stakeholder who are involved in the process gets benefited, and obviously it is much more beneficial for the farmer community also. Next, I would like to say some applications of technology, because I would like to talk from the point of view of startups. Startups are always technology oriented. I like to talk something from the technological aspects in agriculture. For instance, application of IoT, because in Indian Institute of Information Technology, we are specialized in IoT. IoT and cloud computing are one of our areas, and yesterday we had conducted a webinar on application of IoT in agriculture. It was coordinated by IEEE. Actually, the application of IoT in hydroponics, that is what I am going to say. Hydroponics, as you all know, is soilless farming. Through the application of IoT, definitely we can determine the pH value, temperature, and as well as the humidity factor, so that the corrective measures can be taken. This is a startup idea. Actually, the startup community can work on that, and obviously they can come up with a tangible product, or shall we say a prototype. And another aspect that I want to say is e-plants. E-plants is, as you all know, is the abbreviation of electronic plants. As you all know, through photosynthesis, plants generate some organic material, and certain part of the organic material is getting consumed for the plant's growth. The remaining part is getting exerted to the soil, and the bacteria decomposes it. Electrons are getting released, and these electrons can be converted for generating electricity. Seems to be a funny concept, or shall we say an utopian concept, but actually it is not. For example, Wageningen University in Netherlands, or in other way known as Holland, has done a lot of research and development in that area, and they have come up with some tangible products. A lot of research papers are there, working papers are there, theses are there. We are all familiar with wind energy, solar energy. Now it is a time to think about plant energy. Obviously, the startup community can work on that, and definitely they can come up with a very feasible and viable product. And another area that I want to say is the application of GIS in agriculture, Geographical Information System. It is already there, it is not a new concept. But through the application of Geographical Information System, one can predict the yield in advance. Even preventive measures can be taken for soil erosion, and the humidity factor can be determined in advance. Right kind of manuring can be done. Actually, it has got tremendous application. GPS, Geographical Positioning System enabled platform, helps the farmer community a lot. Definitely an innovative app can be developed, and as well as an innovative platform can be developed, so that the farmer community gets benefited, and ultimately it is a good startup idea. And I like to say certain things from the macroeconomic point of view also. These are all the technology domain. The speaker after me is going to speak about MSME schemes, incentives, and the positive measures. But I like to point out certain things. During this pandemic period, there are a lot of anti-China sentiments. I think it will get intensified during the post-COVID-19 period. So this is an area India can leverage on or capitalize on. As far as the statistics are concerned, some 53 companies left China during the last 1 year. But among these 53 companies, only 3 approached India. So something missing somewhere. We need to take some aggressive measures, or shall we say positive measures, to channelize the foreign investment to our country. So I think we can do a lot of efforts in that, and highlighting India as a right kind of destination for foreign investment. I think we can make a lot of efforts in that area. So ultimately, a lot of foreign funds get infused into the Indian industrial scenario, and our startups and as well as our entrepreneurship community may get flourished. And another thing that I want to say is that the borrowing rate for the Indian industries is about 10%. But at the same time, the same borrowing rate in abroad is between 1 to 2%. If funds are available at cheaper rate, why can't we allow Indian companies or entrepreneurs to borrow from outside, so that a lot of funds get infused into Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem? So funds should be there, and funds should be available at cheaper rate. So we need to think about the alternatives which are available. So I like to say one more thing about that is about online education. Even during this crisis time, the online education has been flourished like anything. Khan's Academy, Upgrade, GradeUp, Byju's app, all these companies have made profits. And at one point of time, this online education was getting regarded as a low profile one, or getting looked down by others. But now even the engineering education is getting imparted through the online mode. Technical universities have already started it, and that because there are no other options. And this is an area where the startup community can work on that, and as well as they can come up with a viable app or an innovative app. The fact is that if engineering education can be imparted through the online mode, definitely the agriculture and fisheries education can be imparted through the online mode. Obviously, there will be difficulty in connection with the virtual lab setting, simulation, and other things. But this is a viable startup idea, and this sort of idea should be nurtured, and ultimately it has to lead to a prototype. So in a nutshell, I can wind up and say that the future has to be technology oriented one. Technology has become part and parcel of entrepreneurship and only the technology-oriented entrepreneurships, or in another way known as startups, can survive. And another thing is that it is high time to leverage on the anti-China sentiments. And the third thing is Indian entrepreneurs should be allowed to borrow from outside. And online education is an area where we can concentrate on. This is all I can say. And thanks for inviting me, and thanks for giving me a chance to talk. Thank you, Dr. Nainan sir, and thank you, Director sir.